Good morning and welcome to Berlin.
Guten Tag.
Today we're going to explore the top sites of Berlin and we're going to take you with us.
Yes, we're going to see some stuff related to the World War. We're going to show you some of the beautiful architecture in Brazil. Berlin, not Brazil. Have some food, walk around for a little bit, enjoy the scenery. It's a beautiful city and we think you'll like it too.
Alright, let's go.
Welcome to the Holocaust Memorial. This is one of the most interesting places in all of Berlin. It was built to commemorate the 6 million Jews that died in Europe during the Holocaust, and it's made of 2,711 of these concrete slabs, big stones of various heights and forms that make up an entire field.
It's pretty impressive how they built this.
It's a bit like a maze.
Yeah. Gives this eerie feeling.
It's a bit more eerie than a normal maze because these rocks, especially the smaller ones that aren't so high, look a bit like coffins.
It looks like it's just low blocks from where you started and then suddenly you go deeper. So from the top all the blocks are the same, but it goes down in the ground, so it's pretty cool.
Oh my god, I lost Naick. Dream come true.
Surprise, here I am again.
Damn it. Almost had him. So this says you're not allowed to park your bike here, but you are allowed to put your dog here. So this beautiful building right behind us is the Reichstag, it's the German parliament, and one of the things that it's most famous for, aside from just being an amazing building with beautiful architecture, is the fact that it has a glass dome, which you can't see right now, but they made that after the Second World War, and it actually symbolizes that the German people should always have transparency, should always have say over what happens in parliament, contrary to what happened in the time of Nazism. You can even visit the glass dome, but if you want to, you'll have to book long in advance, because I tried to book last week for a visit. It's not possible, but it's a beautiful building and one of the most famous landmarks in all of Berlin. In case you didn't see our last video, you may be wondering what the heck are you doing in Berlin? Last time I saw you guys, you were in Colombia. Well, we had to come back to Belgium for a few weeks for a family emergency, and then we had to change our travel plans up a bit. We're not going back to Latin America, but we are traveling overland to Beijing, which should be about a 10 to 12,000 kilometer journey. We're going to go through Europe for a week or two, from Berlin to Estonia. Then we're going to take the train to Russia and travel on the Trans-Siberian Railway from Russia through Mongolia to China, which is going to be so epic. So we're going to spend some time in the east of Europe as well. And Berlin is going to be the first stop on that trip. So one day here, I have to make it count. Come on! Berlin is like this very cool mix of glitzy and gritty. You can see it here as well. We just passed a lot of beautiful historic buildings. The modern ones also aren't so bad. 30 degrees Celsius weather, very important to stay hydrated. Now we're going to make our way to Checkpoint Charlie, which is another one of the famous sites in Berlin. Berlin's pretty big, but most of the sightseeing stuff is closely together, so it's pretty easy to get around.
Checkpoint Charlie is one of the 7 points where you could cross the Berlin Wall. The wall was built in 1961 to divide East and West Berlin. It was actually designed to keep the people in the eastern part, in the communist era, because a lot of people were fleeing to the western side.
And if you flee, the police will come to get you.
The wall fell in 1989, so it was almost there for 30 years, dividing all the people from East and West. And this is one of the remaining things that they kept. It's a bit of a strange sight because it's like in the middle of the road here. There's cars passing by, buses passing by, people, there's shops, souvenir shops, everything. So it's slightly underwhelming when you see it, but if you know the history attached to it, it's really, really impressive. So.
And Checkpoint Charlie was a checkpoint that the Allied forces used to get across the wall from one side to the other. And you can actually still see that because there's an American flag outside the outpost. It's not the original building or the original guard outpost because that's in a museum right now. This is a replica, but yeah, like you said, the setting is a little bit underwhelming. You have the McDonald's here on one side, a few shops along the way. It's a very busy street. You would almost walk past it. But if you think that like 50 years ago there was this huge wall meters high dividing the country into two, and this was one of the places where you could cross, more than 1,000 people died here trying to get from one side to the other. So think of that when you visit, and it's a whole lot more impressive. Anything you want related to the wall, related to Checkpoint Charlie, you can find it here.
For just 12 euros you can buy a small piece of the wall here, look. Or for the small sum of 1,200 euros you can even buy a big piece here. Who can say he's got a piece of the Berlin Wall in his living? Nobody.
Given that this is here, probably a lot more people than you think, but it does make quite a unique souvenir. Family.
You can buy all kinds of pieces from the wall.
And you can actually weigh it. They put a little scale here, but I doubt that little scale is gonna be strong enough to hold this baby if we're taking it home. We're not taking it. You can't bring it piece of the Berlin Wall all the way to China, and then we can go to Beijing, put it next to the Chinese wall, and be like, here, big brother.
You're free.
You're free.
Where are you from?
We are from Naick.
Ah, okay.
So there is this electric step system called Lime in Berlin. Naick's been wanting to try it out for, well, a full day now. And he's gotten one, he's gotten the app, we found one that was available, and he's driven off on it. I think he's trying to leave me behind. I think this is his not so subtle way of saying he wants to travel more by himself. There he is. And everything you dreamed of?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, it's pretty cool. You just have to start it by kicking it and then it's electrified. I think it goes up to 20 kilometers per hour, so it goes pretty quickly. It brakes quickly, steering is pretty cool. And you can just rent it with an app, you can put it wherever you want. So it's pretty convenient. So I think we're gonna have to try this out a couple of times. It's pretty cool. You wanna try?
Oh, I don't want to do this. I'm very bad with balance. If you've watched these videos before, you're familiar with that. He's gonna show me how it's done.
You just give it 1 or 2 steps and then you push the button.
See that? You give it one. I've never had a step in my life. I've never put foot on a step. Just give it 1 or 2 steps and you push the button. Oh. That explains it all. This magically cures my poor balance.
Go, go, go.
Irrational fears are taking over. Not so scary once you put the other foot on the step and you have some sense of balance. But the first few seconds I was like, nah, I don't know if this is gonna work out. I quite like this. You can see the speed. I was going at 100 kilometers per hour, it said. Just a minute to go. You couldn't see it, but that's because I was so fast.
Leave the toy behind. You can scooter it till there. You can scooter it till there.
Maybe we can step all the way to Beijing.
So we've worked up quite an appetite now.
Yes.
And we looked up some of the traditional foods here in Berlin. We expected maybe it to be like the very typical German food that we know. But it's not only just a typical German food.
Yes, it is.
We'll show you. Yeah, I mean, not the kind of that you would expect like in Germany. So we're going to show you 2 foods that are really famous here in Berlin, and one will be really unexpected. So let's go.
One, yeah, I'll give you one. That's true.
This is very, very German. It was invented here in Germany. It's pork sausage with some special sauce called curry sauce, which is a lot of spices mixed together, and it's very, very typical from here. So let's go and try it out. We're now at Curry 61. It's time to eat some French fries and some currywurst, so let's go and have a taste. So we just arrived at a small park here next to the currywurst shop. It's really beautiful next to the water, really close to the Berliner Dome, so it's a nice place to hang out, lots of people here, and now I'm just gonna eat.
Let's eat the food then.
It's really good. It's a really spicy sauce with some lots of spices in it. With some chili in it as well. Really good. Really good. Never tasted this before. Cheers.
Allora, buongiorno, speciale di raccavallo, speciale di rosmarino, tomati, chiesi, basilico, morigana, peperoni, toscano, vacca, texina, bocciolazza, capelliscone, pesce di egg, rosso di raccavallo.
So it's not very typical German, but apparently it's very typical from Berlin. And Döner kebab. It was actually invented here in Germany because a lot of Turkish immigrants.
Oh, the meat is really good. We have some meat in here. We have some cheese. I think this is goat cheese or something. We have some carrots, some onions, some tomato. It tastes really good. And in case you've never had a kebab before, they make like this big meatball, a big meat sphere. Yeah, that's the metro. That's not me. That's not my stomach. They make like this big meat sphere that they grill against an open fire, and then they like shave pieces of meat off, and then you basically get this. Very good. The original Döner kebab. This is one of the most famous landmarks in Berlin and in all of Germany. It's the Brandenburger Gate, or the Brandenburger Tor as it's called in German. And it's actually an 18th century neoclassical monument that is located on the exact spot where there used to be a city gate that went all the way from Berlin to Brandenburg. It's quite popular with tourists, as you can see, because there are quite a few people here taking pictures, taking selfies. There's a carriage on top of the gate. It looks impressive.
After that cool breakdancing show, we're heading back to our hostel.
Yes.
We're tired. We left in the morning. Now it's 8 o'clock, 8:30, so I think we're both tired.
We're getting old.
Yeah, we walked like 20 kilometers today, so it was pretty tough, but really cool. Berlin is such an awesome place.
Oh, I love it here. The
Second time I've been here, but it's so cool.
It has a lot of history. It also has a lot of modern stuff and shopping malls and stuff like those street dancers, and it's just really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah. Tomorrow evening we're going to take the night bus to Gdansk.
Another night bus, yay!
Another night bus, yay! So next time we see each other, you'll be in Poland. If you like the video, please leave a big thumbs up and subscribe to see the next one, and we will see you in the next one. Bye! Disneyland.